Hey guys, welcome to Troy Time. Hey, check it out. Fall is here, baby. So what that means is our outdoor gardens are wrapping up. It's time to start focusing on our indoor gardening. Today I've got 3 awesome secret indoor gardens that I want to share with you. These are gardens that are going to take up almost no space whatsoever, okay? We're not going to use any countertop space. We're not going to use any floor space. For today's video, I'm going to focus on our smaller gardens, okay? This is for people that tell me that they have no space. I've taught a lot of people how to grow food outdoors and indoors. One of the biggest constraints that people have is they say, Troy, I love what you're doing. Some of the stuff you're doing inside is awesome. I just don't have the space for it. And we're going to show you 3 different amazing gardens. Stay tuned to check it out. This is something I hope you really enjoy. Okay guys, when I tell you about this first garden, your first reaction might be a little bit to step back and be like, you might dismiss it. You might think it's not that valuable. But stay tuned to the video. Don't jump away, and I think I'll win you over. It's a really, really cool garden, and I really think you're going to like it. Super valuable, great thing to have on hand, great thing to do this winter and even into next summer, right? So let's check it out, this first video. First garden, windowsill garden, okay? I know it sounds crazy, and I know you're going to be like, psh, what is a windowsill? You're going to think it's some child science project or something. No, this is a real garden. It's going to return a ton of food. Check it out. Let's get into it right now. Okay guys, so here's a look at one of our first gardens, the windowsill garden. What I want you to know about the windowsill garden is that we're using microgreens. You can grow a ton of microgreens in a very small area, okay? And they grow fast. That's the beauty of this. We've got 6 trays of food here, and we're going to harvest 6 trays of food every 7 days. That's crazy. The amount of food we're going to get out of this little garden is absolutely amazing. What are we growing? Microgreens. We're growing radish sprouts. Radish microgreens, I should say. These things are awesome. They've got cancer-fighting properties. They taste great. We're also growing pea shoots. Pea shoots are highly nutritious, so flavorful. They're just an awesome thing to add to salads and soups. We're also growing mung beans, which is awesome. They're crunchy, they're tasty. Everyone loves mung beans. And just look how many can fit in one little plate. And we're also growing lentil sprouts, right? So there's just a ton of variety, a ton of food. These things make great salads. Even though I've got larger grow racks, these are the 4 that I use even on my larger grow racks. And you can simulate them right here in this little window. So look at the volume on these things. Go back and look at the volume. Look how many radish sprouts fit in one tray. Look at your pea shoots. There's a ton of volume there. And then we've also got, like I say, the mung beans and the lentil sprouts. There is a ton of food that's growing, and you can harvest that every 7 days. You're harvesting 6 trays of food. It's absolutely phenomenal, the amount of material that you can get to harvest off of this one little space. 6 of these trays every 7 days. Over the course of a year, that's 312 plates of food. Imagine an outdoor garden, how much space you would have to harvest 312 plates of food in 1 year. That's crazy. That would be a huge garden outside, and yet you can harvest it right from this little windowsill inside. That is amazing, guys. There's a ton of food to be had. And the other thing is it's super inexpensive and super easy. All you need is water. You don't need any electricity. You don't need any filters. You don't need any pumps. You could grow other things as well. There's other ones that you could do. Some that I've done in the past are here, but I really like the 4 that we've gone over. And why, again, is because they're super inexpensive, right? Most of them for a plate of food is going to cost you about 10 cents. The radishes are a little more expensive. That plate will cost you about 30 cents. But still, for less than $1 a week, you can have a whole plethora of food. 6 of those trays, harvesting off that windowsill every single week, all year long. Because you can buy this stuff for about $1.25 a pound for the seeds. For most of them, the radish is slightly more expensive, but these are usually about $1.25 a pound, and you're not using the whole pound in a tray. You're using a very little bit, like you see in the jars here. So we'll go over this. If you want to see me go through all the details of this, let me know, and I'll do a video just for that. But this, guys, is an awesome garden that everyone should be doing, and everyone's got the space for it. So just to recap, realize 6 plates of food, okay? You could mix it all together in a big mix. This is how I actually eat my salads, is with these very microgreens, okay? So you could buy a head of lettuce each week at the store, and then you could have 6 salads every single week, a salad almost every day. And not just a regular salad, a superfood salad. These are all superfoods. They are incredibly good for you, incredibly healthy for you, and you can grow them fresh year-round on just your windowsill. How amazing is that? Yeah, pretty amazing stuff. So that windowsill garden is really, really valuable. It's awesome stuff. Okay, here's a spot you probably never thought of, your stove top. We're gonna be able to grow an awesome garden right on top of your stove. Here's how we're gonna do it, check it out. Okay, guys, the stovetop is a awesome place for a little garden, okay? You can use one burner or you can use all four burners. What we've done here is we've used just one little drying rack from the Dollar Tree, and now you can stack your plates. So it makes awesome use of your space in a vertical format. So you can use one burner here and do that. You could stack them on two burners if you want and just have a ton of food growing. You could do this entirely with microgreens, and you can do it with other stuff in this space as well. I really like the way that they stack, though, using that little drying rack. You can get one at Walmart, you can get one at the Dollar Tree. It works really, really well. Same sort of stuff that I'm growing here. Just like we talked about, peas, mung beans, lentils, and radishes. Those are my favorites, man. You can totally grow that. You can grow a lot of other stuff too, all right? Greens work particularly well at this stovetop garden, and we'll look into that here in just a minute. But yeah, just beautiful stuff, and you can stack all the plates. Some of the stuff grows in the dark, so you can keep those in the bottom, like your mung beans and your lentils. And then the stuff that needs the light, you can move up on the top rack, so it works out really well. You can also use jars. If your thing is mason jars, a lot of people like to use the mason jars. I've done that some in the past. I generally prefer the plates, but the mason jars can stack just like that. You can use the mason jars to stack on, and again, have a nice vertical component to your garden growing on a single burner of your stove. So it takes up almost no space, and you can grow a ton of food. So yeah, so super easy to do, and just really doesn't take much at all. Okay, so yeah, so here's a few different views of that. My favorite again is the plates. I like the plates, just a lot of versatility. And if you were going to do one thing, I would do the plates. And one of the reasons I like that is because you can do the greens on them on those as well. But if the jars are your thing, hey, fill those jars up and you get tons of food too, just like the lentils you're seeing here. And there's some mung beans, and yeah, you can even in the jars. The jars generally take it up vertical naturally, so there's a lot of food that can fit in there. Jars are a great way to go if that's your thing, and lots of different stuff that you can grow in them. You can grow more than what I'm showing here, but I'm just giving you my favorites. There's actually so much space on the stovetop that you can use any method. You can use any of the other previous methods that I've shown. Here I've got these little jar tops growing microgreens. There's just a ton of variety that you can use with almost any method. But I do prefer the plates. And again, that's because they're so versatile for all the different things that I like to grow. Okay, if you didn't want to use the green and white plates, you can use the Tupperware like I'm showing there above. You can use that. You can just take off the lid and poke holes in the lid, and then you've essentially got a DIY little growing sprout tray that you can use as well. So that works perfectly. The awesome other thing about the plates is that they can stack. So here you can see you can stack a bunch of them up, especially when you're just in the beginning stages or on things that need to stay in the dark, like sprouts. My most favorite, though, you guys have seen it so much on my channel, is the greens. You can grow so many greens in that space. One tray of greens is huge. That's how I actually thought about this method. I was displaying on my channel some of the greens that I'd grown in my grow room, and I put them on my stove for display. And people were asking if that's where I grew them. And then I realized, man, you know what? I could have. So you could have grown just a ton of greens on your stove. I don't know if I'd go quite the way I have it here as I have them displayed. But yeah, one or two burners and just fill it up with greens. And you can stack them, right? You could put the greens that need to be in the dark when they're first germinating, put them on the underside, and then move the plates to the top when it's time for them to be in the light. But greens and microgreens are just a great thing to grow here. You could grow your microgreens in your windowsill and then grow your greens for your salad on your stove. It just works out awesome, guys. They combine together in an amazing way. Another completely awesome thing about growing on your stovetop is that more than likely you already have a light there right in place. So many stovetops have a hood or have a countertop or underneath of a microwave that already has a light there. So it makes it awesome. So you can just stick them right there and you don't have to worry about mounting any lights or anything else. And it makes it just a great place to grow. All right, guys, that's 2 out of our 3 gardens. They're great gardens whether you use them by themselves or combined together. Now we're going to add our third. Our third garden is the side of your fridge, okay, that vertical surface. What do you have on there right now? Maybe a magnet or two, maybe a sticker? Let's grow a garden there and let's make it awesome. Okay, guys, on the side of your fridge is a great place for a shoe rack garden. Okay, side of the fridge, this is an awesome space. I've already shown the shoe rack garden growing outside, and I've also shown one growing inside last year. I've got a version 2 that's going to have cleaner lines and look much nicer so that you could actually display it right there in your kitchen. Okay, so it'll be cleaner looking than this one, but you can grow a ton of food. The other thing that's awesome about these shoe racks is that you can cut them to whatever size you want. So maybe you don't want all 24 of these sections on your fridge. Maybe you just want 6, maybe you just want 4, right? You can grow tons of things in these. What would be great is a nice little fresh herb garden hanging right on the side of your fridge. That would work out awesome. Okay, another great thing, you could always do the microgreens just like we've already shown. You could do those super easy right on the side of your fridge, or you could do full heads of lettuce. So if you're growing microgreens in your windowsill and you're growing your baby lettuces on your stove, you could grow full heads of lettuce. You would only need six of the cups, 6 spaces in play, and you could have a full head of lettuce harvested every week along with your greens that you have on your stove. It would work out awesome, right? So we'll show you the way. I am going to do a video. Let me know if you want to see the video just to help me prioritize it. But I'm going to do a video in my grow room of actually my version 2 of this grow rack. Version 1 works out great. Version 2 looks better and it's easier to maintain. It's going to work out awesome. Let me know in the comments, which garden did you like the best? Which garden would you like to see more in-depth videos with the breakdown of how to make them and what I'm actually doing? Let me know and we'll make it happen, guys. I want to see you guys growing this year for sure. Yeah, guys, so those are 3 awesome indoor gardens, right? Whether you use them by themselves or collectively, maybe you use just 2 of them, maybe just 1, they're awesome. You can grow a great selection of food, and it's really valuable, especially in the winter months, right? Especially now is a great time to do it. So whether you're taking in your fall garden and you're going to be missing gardening over the winter months, or you've always just wanted to start a garden, now's the time. I get more excited about the winter indoor gardening than I do about the outside gardening, because I know the indoor garden is going to be successful and it's going to be so easy to do. So I hope you try some of these. Let me know in the comments if you want me to go in depth and do the actual breakdown for any one of these 3 gardens, and I'll do so. As I've already mentioned, we're going to be doing our larger shoe rack garden upstairs in our grow room this year, and I'll capture that in detail. That's actually going to be version 2. It's going to have cleaner lines, look better, and actually be much easier to maintain, right? So stay tuned for that. Make sure you like and subscribe, guys. Subscribe to the channel. There's so much going on this winter. We've got great indoor gardening of all different types. We've got solar stuff coming. We've got more survival stuff coming. We've got canning coming. Thanksgiving's almost here. We're going to be doing some canning turkey again. Check out those videos if you haven't seen it. But thanks for being on board today. Check back real soon. We're going to be covering more gardens and lots of stuff. Thanks for coming out, guys. It's always good to have you here. Like and subscribe to my channel. Share my channel with your friends. Help me try and grow this. Let's get a community together. Thanks, guys. It's always good having you along. We'll talk to you again soon. This is Troy Time. I'm out.